Hello my friends, I am so excited to be making a YouTube channel for you. I've gone on and off YouTube over the years many a time. I've done vlogging. I've done the TV studio series of like the Oprah show version of the Lively show. And now I'm coming to you with kind of just, at this point at least, like tutorials that I think I would like to see on the YouTube creator space that I haven't seen before from other creators. I love watching YouTube so much. It is my Netflix. I watched it for ages and years. It is the thing that I get so excited when content gets released. And so now, not only having the podcast, bringing these subjects that are a little bit more visual in nature to you in a physical, digital YouTube form is such a joy. So I want to start off for the channel with skincare. Now, for those that have followed my podcast over the last 10 years, we all know I had really bad acne for a really long time in my 30s. I'm now just turning 40, so I don't have the bad acne and my hormones are in a much different place than they used to be. But during those years of the bad acne and the insanely sensitive skin that I had for all of that time, I spent thousands of dollars on skincare and it didn't work. And so now that I have found what works for me and also what I love, not only from the sensitive skin side of it, but also the staying with amazing collagen the rest of my life side of it, I want to share what I have found and what I'm most passionate about, because this is stuff that hopefully will either save you time or money if you're interested in the subject, or maybe you just find this aligning to watch even if you have no interest at all in skincare. But may I entertain you with what I love. Now let's get started with my morning skincare routine. Okay, so when it comes to skincare, there's a lot of stuff I do before I even wash my face. One of these things is when I have the time and I remember, which is most days, because I live alone and I have a lot of time in most days, I love icing my face. Now, I did not think icing my face would be something I'd love as much as I love it. So I think that if I can say anything, please try it. Grab a bag of peas out of your freezer. I started using a block of ice that was in my freezer for coolers, and I just started trying it on my face because I watched a YouTuber who kept using ice on her face and she was dripping with the water from the bag of ice, and she kept doing it though. And I watched all these YouTube vlogs where she was doing that and I was like, I got influenced. I just decided I want to see what it feels like to ice my face. So out of curiosity, I took the block of ice out of my freezer and I started just putting on my face. The first thing I noticed is that it felt really good, but now I'm actually obsessed because the more days I did it, eventually I realized that just by getting my face very cold and freezing the tissues, as I washed my face after that, I was like, what happened? Oh my God, this is crazy. And I think it's actually the ice. So I think it's helping to firm, tighten, and help the pore sizes. So I would say this, if you want to try it, stare at your skin in the mirror in the morning when you wake up, look at the pores and where there might be some redness and inflammation, and then take your ice packs and press it in those areas specifically, especially. Press it everywhere that feels good. I put on my neck too. It just feels so nice. Even just feeling them now, they're still a little bit cold. I would not want to do an ice bath, but putting on my face, I'm a big fan of. And I notice the difference when I wash my face and how firm and smooth and consistent my face feels. So ice. Try it. You don't have to get fancy things. I don't think that the shape of these does that much. I just think they're beautiful and I enjoy using them every day, and I like that the water doesn't come down onto my fingers because of the little rubber bits. So that's why I use these. They're called Feffis. We'll put the link into the show notes, but they are just the pretty thing I found that was practical, but you can use a bag of peas. I do not think that ice is like better because it's in a certain shape or form. It's just icing. The other thing I recommend, which is non-skincare really, is silica and collagen. I love Zuki collagen because just like the ice, I took it traveling and I had a normal powder form of collagen I was using, but to travel I took packets and I thought this will be easier. But then after 5 days of only using these, again, this was 2 years ago, way before icing, I started noticing a difference when I washed my face after 5 days of using this. And I was like, my face feels better. And I can tell that from like blind feel test while I'm washing my face. So after I got hooked on the fact that this felt so much better, I never went back. So I don't know if it's the world's best collagen. I'm not sponsored by them. I'd love to be sponsored by them because it would save me money on all the product I'm buying myself every day. But I love these and I have found that they really work. Then the other thing I like to use for collagen support is silica, and specifically Terra Nova, I'm hoping is a good brand, but really what I like about this is bamboo shoot silica. So it's silica from bamboo shoots. Silica is one of those building blocks that's essential for your collagen to form in your body. So supplementing this as well as collagen itself is something that I do, knowing that both are essential for your collagen to grow in your body. Then when it comes, again, before I wash my face, I still do one more thing. I then use this. Now this was the most expensive tool in the routine I'm about to show you, but this is the Face Gym Pro, and Face Gym is it's a UK company, so it's easier to get here than it is in the US. I don't even think you can get this specific tool, this one, in the US yet. I don't know why it's not available there. I'm guessing there's some kind of restrictions to it, but she's a powerful baby. She is one of those EMF devices, EMS devices, where it electrically pulses and tightens your skin. I've seen some reviews by people that were loving this and decided to give it a shot. At the time I invested, I thought I would use it all over my face, but because it's so powerful, I actually don't use it on the sides of my cheeks, my eyes, or my cheekbones. I only use it around the top of my forehead occasionally, and then about 5 or 6 days a week, I always use it right here on my jawline and under my neck. So this is my favorite thing for just basically right here. And if I knew I was only gonna use this just right here with a little bit of aloe vera gel from Whole Foods, I don't think I would have bought this thing, to be honest, because it was so expensive. I thought I'd use it all over my face. So I thought I'd get this bigger bang for my surface buck, but really, because it's so strong, I don't want to do too much tightening on the sides of my cheeks and make them look more gaunt or hollow. That's not a look I'm going for. So I just like to have it nice and firm and tightened around the jaw, and that's why I use this just there. But it does really work, and I am really glad that I bought into it because the investment has proven to be worth it. I've used it for well over a year, and it has been a game changer. And I know from the before and after I did of myself within a week of using it, I was amazed at the difference in it. Now I'm just used to looking the way I do, in part because I use this tool all the time. So I'm very happy to have it. And like I said, use it most days of the week. Now, when it comes to actual products in the morning, after I've gotten the gel on my face from the Face Gym, I've got this on my jawline. So I like to wash it off with a cleanser. I use the Daily Co, and you're gonna see a lot of green bottles in this video, which are all from the Daily Co. The Daily Co, if you follow my Instagram or my social media on the podcast, you'll know I'm obsessed. If I can invest in one company in the world as a female investor, I would invest in the Daily Co and help them get distribution in the US and everywhere in the world so that everybody could have the amazing world of this skincare that I have. That said, I've had packages of this sent to the US, and I have massive packages sent to the UK. I kind of stock up. If you looked in my bathroom right now, it looks like a pantry or a little like pharmacy of Daily Co stuff, because I just stock up thinking, and I try to like figure out which amount I'm gonna go through of what things in the cadence, so I can get like a 6-month supply and not have to go back to them and reorder, because I will have to pay the shipping and VAT when I come to the UK. But I'm absolutely obsessed. So I use the cleanser, and that's a pretty straightforward process, and it's a gorgeous cleanser. I don't think of all the products that this is the product to like invest in first if you're just getting into the product and you want to save some money, but it is a gorgeous cleanser. After that, I use the vitamin B or B+, which has niacinamide. Jack, who invented this line, had 30 years of skincare experience and started the company with her daughter, and they have just hit it out of the park. And the reason I actually originally found them was from their SPF, which I also use after the moisturizer. So the moisturizer has peptides in it, and that's just a quick thing to say. Anywhere that has a good skincare line and they're including peptides, peptides are your friend. If you don't already know that, please know peptides, like especially for someone with sensitive skin that you're like, I don't know what's gonna irritate my skin. Peptides will not, if they don't have any other things in the product that's going to irritate your skin. They're literally like happy plant food for your skin. Your skin will love them and thrive with peptides. So whenever you see that, that's usually a good sign that the skincare line is reputable or knows what the science is. I don't think too many like knockoff kind of brands are really going to like low quality peptides. I think right now, if you're getting a peptide, you're probably in a good place with the skincare line, but this one has a few different ones in the moisturizer, and it also has zinc oxide, 22% in the barrier protects SPF, and the acetyl tetrapeptide 2. So yeah, peptides galore in all of these products, and that's my morning routine for you. All right, now for my evening routine. Now this is why I wanted to actually do this video specifically, is because you may not have found what I found, and I want to share what I found because it really helps me. A lot of skincare people talk about a weekly routine, and while there's nothing wrong with a weekly routine, I've had one for many years before this. I changed it when I heard Trini Woodall of Trini London talk about her skincare routine. So this is completely a riff and exactly from what Trini recommends. And I found it so helpful, and I've never gone back after I've decided to do it this way. So I'm gonna show you how I cleanse my skin and that kind of thing. But basically, every 3 days, I do different things, but I don't do it weekly. I just have a 3-day routine, and I just do day 1, day 2, day 3, day 1, day 2, day 3, and I just repeat that over and over again while I'm at home. If I'm traveling, I don't necessarily do all these 3 steps. If I'm away for 6 days, I could if I wanted to, or if I'm away for a long weekend, I certainly probably most cases wouldn't, but let me explain. So day 1 of the routine is a retinal, and I'll explain a little bit about this in a bit, but I'll use a retinal as my active that night. Day 2 would be an exfoliating product, which once I'll explain more about what that is either going to be an exfoliating liquid or an actual physical exfoliant. And then day 3 is a microneedling night. So I'm gonna get into each of these as the active elements, but when it comes to actual end of day, I'll use a face halo to do my first cleanse and use it with water. I don't have to apply any soap to get the first layer of makeup off. And then after that, as good as I can get it with the face halo, then I use the cleanser from my Daily Co. And then on day 1, I will do the vitamin B, which is again that niacinamide, and I'll use her, and this is from the Daily Co specifically, the 0.5% retinal. Now when it comes to retinal, for those that know, you already know this, but for those that are maybe brand new to retinol, or retinoid. Retinoid is a tretinoin, that's like the prescription strength stuff that is highly irritating in most cases, but also the most efficacious if you can tolerate the irritation and inflammation that it might cause. Some people swear by it, but for my skin, it would be hyper too intense, to the fact that retinol, even at 0.5%, is still a strong ingredient for me. So I like only using it every 3 days at most. It's a nice routine for me. I do the 0.5% on my face, and then I do the 1%, which this is, on my chest and upper arms. So doing it on my décolletage, my neck, and my chest, this 1% is totally fine and wonderful for that tougher skin, but for my face, I do the 0.5%. So I'll wash my face, cleanse it, and then apply the vitamin B, the vitamin A, which is the 0.5% in my face, and then the moisturizer, and I go to bed. Actually, if you are curious, I don't do anything as far as an eye cream goes, but Dr. Rajani had mentioned grapeseed oil. This is kind of a gross looking bottle, but I ordered this on Amazon because it is all natural and the right kind of just basic, clean, organic grapeseed oil. I use this in my under eyes because I do have purple under eyes, and this is supposed to help with that. So I do put that under my eyes, just like a little bit of it, very simply, and that's my day 1 of the routine. Now day 2, because retinol, by the way, with the OL at the end, that is the least effective and least efficacious of the 3 types. Retinoid, the strength one from the doctors, the strongest but most irritating. Retinol, the least strong one, is also irritating and the least effective, so why would we pick that? It's usually a cheaper product though, so you'll find it in cheaper product lines. Retinal, R-E-T-I-N-A-L, retinaldehyde, has a 2-part process in your skin, and it is less irritating than retinols or retinoid. So it's my magic Goldilocks, yeah, and those 3 bears. This is like not too soft, not too hard, just right, and effective. So it is where I can truly get the most benefits. So when I do my exfoliating thing, because retinoids and retinols will increase your cell turnover, which means you're going to notice that your skin's going to need to be exfoliated more regularly, because by nature what you're doing is helping your cell turnover be faster and more healthy. So as you're doing that, you're going to get more dead skin cells over time as a result of using retinols and retinoids, but they still help the most as far as active ingredients go, along with peptides to help your skin stay its best. So when it comes to doing the exfoliating, once a week, so every 2 exfoliating days, once roughly a week, since I do it every 3 days. One of the exfoliating days is going to be a microdermabrasion. This is the tool that Jack at the Daily Co decided to create her line from. She wanted to give people the power to do microdermabrasion at home. So I use this, like I said, about once a week. Every other exfoliating night, I will do this, and I follow the instructions that they have on their website to use the tool. And then afterwards, I use her peel too. This is a Daily Co in a different color because it's actually a peel rather than a regular daily product in the green bottles. So this one's 10% salicylic acid and 5% mandelic acid. This I put on for 5 minutes after I've done this. my skin the next day is literally radiating like in shine. And it's not oil. I don't have oily skin at all. It is just that refreshed, exfoliated, and clean that is just reflecting light. It is amazing. So I love the day after I use these two products, and I highly recommend if you have a chance. I didn't immediately invest in this. I got the skincare line first, but then I was so obsessed with how the skin was looking with all of the skincare, and I was like, well, now I've got to try what else she has. And so I got this with this and love the effect that this gives. So I highly recommend this. If you don't want to get into this product line though, there is another product I do love and still use. I ran out of it, so I've got 2 bottles of it coming to the house, but it's called Yo Glow, and it's by the watermelon. We'll put the link in the show notes, but basically it's this exfoliating peel that's very gentle. It's just this little dried beads that come in this semi-liquid form, and as you rub it, it just gently physically exfoliates the top layer of skin. God, I love that too. So every now and then, if that is gonna do an amazing thing, I won't need to worry about it for many days after I've done that, but sometimes I'll notice as I'm washing my face, especially around my this part of my chin or these areas around my nose, they'll get a little bit gritty feeling, and I can tell that's cells that need to be released, and so I'll use the Yo Glow. On another night that is an exfoliating night, I also use the exfoliating serum, which is an 18% AHA, alpha hydroxy acid complex. That's what I use because it's at the Daily Co, and I love everything here. But if you don't have access to this, another good AHA, or I think it was glycolic acid, that I used to use was Drunk Elephant. Highly recommend Drunk Elephant too if you don't have access to this kind of product. And then the third day is microneedling night. Now microneedling night, I use a Trini Woodall's actual microneedle. Because I live in London, and because I love Trini, and because she made this, and because she educated me on how to use this through her videos, I felt it was the way I want it to go. It's pretty, it's easy. It's more expensive than you need. Like, you don't need to get this specific tool. It's pretty ergonomic. And because I live with easy access to Trini's products, I have it. But if I did not live in London and I was just watching this video, I would just go on Amazon and find a good, well-rated micro needle for like £8 on the internet, and then just get the heads that get replaced, but doing so with a really good one. And then using, this is actually Trini London's Plump Up Serum. This is a hyaluronic acid and peptide complex. This is literally the patented duo that she always recommends. And when you do microneedling at night, you do wanna make sure that you use something very good for your skin, but also very clear and clean for your skin, because you don't wanna put impurities or stuff that's not as great to go deeper into your skin to penetrate at a deeper level. So I would not, for example, ever do an exfoliating product or the retinal ever after microneedling. I'd always do something gentle but with peptides to help deeply support my skin. I like the ice roller. Totally slept on the idea that ice or microneedling would work or do anything to my skin. I had zero expectations for either product, and I have been shocked by both. And so I have to say, as someone that totally did not expect anything out of microneedling, I have been amazed. And also Dr. Retinal Rajani's videos have shown that some studies have shown that there's about 400% increase with microneedling when you do it. So I highly recommend giving it a try. You don't have to invest in Trini's. You can totally go to your Amazon or to a local store to get a good microneedle and then use a good product. The point about Trini, so if you don't have the Australian skincare line that I like to use available to you, I would also just say, if you happen to live in the UK or Australia, or I don't know if it's in America yet actually, but this is Trini's, and this is, how brilliant is this? I wish the Daily Co had this kind of product line. I know you can get little decanting pots for other products at, you know, Amazon or wherever you're looking. There's a lot of different things. Even Cadence is a very pretty, very luxury looking one. However, I just bought these from Trini to go traveling for long weekends, and this is a game changer. Like, this is all the products that I need to travel with. I'd love to have Daily Co products, and maybe I'll refill these with Daily Co, who knows, since I always have this on hand. But this is like a mini moisturizer, a mini hyaluronic acid for plump up, a mini exfoliator, and then a cleanser. So I get all of my products in a thing this big, versus when I used to travel, I never checked a bag, or sorry, carried on, because I was always bringing all these big bottles. And so literally I would have like 6 of these big bottles in my suitcase at all times in my travel years. But now to be able to like consolidate it down to this size for this many products is a game changer. So highly recommend. And also when it comes to products that have great ingredients that are as close to as good as these products, I think Trini is just as good. Maybe, I don't know if it's just as good, but I will say that I love these. And if I had to do a backup skincare line to use instead, I would use Trini's. And actually on the subject of Trini's line, which I just think is quite amazing, she has this neck cream, which I decided to give a try. I use it at night on my neck. I do the 1% retinal that I mentioned on my neck and chest every other night, and then I could do this one every night, or the nights especially that I don't do the retinal. So I don't know if I see a difference from it, but I've enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll repurchase right away, but in general, it was something I was excited to try too. So there you guys have it. That is my skincare routine. When it comes to tracking what day of the 3 days I'm on, I have a little app on my phone. You could just take a journal and take a note for it, remember it in your head, or I found an app called OnRise. And in OnRise, again, this isn't sponsored or anything, I just found a way to like track. So I have like microneedle, vitamin A, exfoliating, and the peel. So I just be able to like track which day I'm on and see, so I don't have to remember or forget. So, and also when I change my contacts is in there too. So there you have it, my friends. That is my skincare video for you. Take what you like out of this, leave the rest. I know this is a lot of steps, and if you're very busy or very uninterested in the subject, this probably won't be what you end up doing. But if you are someone like me by chance that loves diving deep into this stuff, it has brought me a lot of joy to have things that I can truly rave about after all those years of being super stressed and super unhappy, spending a lot of money on things that still made my skin break out. So there you have it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time, may something wonderful happen to you today.